Alright you guys, well today I have for you this 2022 Honda Pilot. We'll take you around this SUV, show you what it's all about. This is a special edition model, so it comes with like this blacked out front grille, also the blacked out wheels. Looks a little sportier, looks a little more aggressive than the standard Pilot. This is technically the previous generation now. They just came out with a new Pilot not too long ago, but to be honest, I kind of like this one a little bit better than the brand new one. This one I felt like they definitely took some more daring kind of styling cues with these like tail lights that sort of wrap around like that. I think those look good. We'll pop the trunk. It does have a standard Honda key, but we'll see what the rear trunk looks like. All right, a little bit loud in that power tailgate there, but as you can see, you actually don't get the most space back here. I was kind of surprised. I mean, of course, it's not like terrible, but it's not as spacious as I was expecting. You do get a spare tire underneath this compartment. A little tray back here for cargo. You can, of course, fold the third row down. Just pull those straps and fold right down. Pretty easy to do, but we'll actually try out this third row in a minute here. We'll close up this trunk, and it is a little bit of a slow closing trunk, but not too bad. We'll get in the back seat here, see what that's all about. All right, and as you would expect, it's pretty roomy, pretty spacious, not like anything huge, but still pretty good. You got these two giant cup holders, pretty big armrest in this door. You got the nice window shades, got your own rear climate control and two USB-A ports. And we'll show you guys under the hood real quick. All right, very simple hood opening. I like that. And this is the 3.5 liter V6. The J series V6 from Honda. It makes 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It is paired to a 9-speed automatic. It's kind of in that time Honda and Acura were using 9-speed automatics in some of their V6 models. But we'll close up the hood here. And I do just love the styling of this Pilot. I like these wraparound taillights. I felt like in this generation, they were definitely taking more risks in the styling. We'll show you guys that third row though, like I was talking about. So very easy. There's just a button right here. Seat slides forward like that. All right. And sitting back here, I actually surprisingly don't feel cramped. Like my knees are up in the air. It's obviously not super comfortable, but I actually do have enough space. It's not like some SUVs where I literally can't sit back here. This I could actually sit back here if I wanted to. So yeah, in a pinch, you could sit adults back here. It's just not the most comfortable, but you could do it if you wanted to. Very easy to get out of here. Just a button you push. All right. But we'll hop up front here. We'll start it up. Okay, so this Honda Pilot is pretty nice in here. The buttons feel pretty solid. It does have a pretty big crack in the windshield. Hopefully that's not too distracting on camera, but other than that, very nice, very clean interior. These seats are a little bit plain. They're almost kind of like minivan seats a little bit with these armrests and stuff. They're not super fancy seats or anything like that, but you know, they get the job done. Lots of nice, clear, easy to read controls in here. Only issue I kind of have is like this gauge cluster. It's a little bit strange. The gauges on the side look maybe a little bit out of place to me, but you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. I like seeing different stuff in here, and that's definitely different. You get a little screen in here. You can see your music, Apple CarPlay, things like that, which is pretty nice. I usually just leave it on the torque vectoring all-wheel drive screen kind of shows you how much power goes to each wheel. You do got kind of just an ordinary sunroof in here. Very simple climate controls, easy to figure out, and Honda's new-ish infotainment screen. My 2020 Accord has this too. It works really well. Got this interesting feature called Social Playlist, where people can connect to the car's Wi-Fi and share songs on the screen within the car. Pretty cool. Heated seats, 3-level, your push button gear selector, pretty clear, good backup camera with a few different views. Put in park right there. You do got your drive mode, so you had normal, snow, mud, and sand. Go back to normal. And I guess this D/S is what you'd press for sport mode. You do got a very big center console in here, a USB and a power outlet and an aux in there. Overall, it's a pretty nice interior. I mean, it's nothing fancy really, but it is like decent. I kind of like it. I like how it's laid out. I think we will take this Honda Pilot out on the road and see how it drives. All right. As you'd probably expect, it's a very plush driving experience. Very plush ride to it. The engine is decently peppy, although definitely not like a performance engine. It doesn't get up to speed like quite as fast as some V6 engines. The pedals have a very like soft response. Both the gas pedal and the brake pedal. They're just very soft, very light in their resistance. Brake pedal is just so smooth. You do not feel any braking chatter at all. The pedal is really light, kind of like mushy but defined at the same time. Super easy to modulate and control your stops. Gas pedal is kind of the same story. It's a little bit like of a loose gas pedal when you step on it. It's also a little bit vague, but also responsive at the same time, if that makes sense. Has a nice, like, crisp response, but it's also a little bit loose, definitely not sporty. But we'll get out on the road here. Try out some of the power. All right, you can hear that VTEC kick in a little bit there. And, you know, it's average for an SUV. It's decently peppy, pretty smooth power delivery. Accelerator has like a long travel before it hits the floor. Kind of it doesn't seem like it likes to be hurried. It's 9-speed automatic. It's actually not terrible. It's not bad. 1 to 2 shift is a little laggy, but other than that, actually seems to work through its gears pretty well. It has a little bit of a kick to it, like between gears. You know, when it upshifts, it kind of, you know, gets moving a little faster, It feels pretty nice, actually. It's a nice sensation, like nice and smooth and like pretty slick shifting. It is not the quickest to downshift. You know, that's like kind of like half throttle, maybe a little more to do that, and it is a little hesitant, but really it's not bad. It's still pretty intuitive, definitely drivable, daily drivable, pretty smooth for the most part. Steering is very light, very kind of loose steering. Not as precise as like an Accord or something like that. Obviously has a little bit of play, kind of vagueness on center, but still not terrible. I know, like in this generation, like mid 2010s, Honda was doing like really light steering in their cars. It's nothing like crazy sporty, but it's just like nice and slick, nice and like smooth but sharp at the same time. A little bit light for my taste, but you know, still pretty good. Honda always tunes their steering nicely. And like pretty responsive powertrain, as you can see. You get good visibility in here. Other than this windshield crack, obviously, you can see right over the front hood just fine. You actually have a pretty tall seating position in here, combined with this really clear windshield out the front. It's pretty nice, inspires good confidence. You get these like big side mirrors, your pillars aren't huge, and big back window to look out of. That is definitely kind of far away in your rear view mirror, the back window, but you know, still totally fine, clear sight lines. It is a pretty wide vehicle though. I do notice that it kind of takes up a big portion of the road, which obviously you kind of expect. This is kind of a bouncy ride. Very soft, very cushy, but not the most settled ride I've experienced. It's a little bit busy in the suspension for my liking. But most of the time it's nice and smooth. It's kind of zippy, it's kind of slick on the road, but obviously not like an outright sports car. You can try to check out our turning radius. It's not like a quick maneuver kind of car. You know, it can go around bends and turns pretty smooth, but it's not something you like, you know, obviously tear around corners in. Try out our turning radius real quick though. And it's decent, you know, about average. Maybe a little bit of a wide turning radius, but not bad at all. But we'll get back out on the road here. try out this corner, see how it does. All right, you know, it is a little bit heavy, kind of bouncy-ish in the corners, but still holds the road pretty decently. Nice and smooth around the turns. We have another Honda Pilot in front of us. I mean, you probably see like 8 of these on your morning commute alone. It's a very popular car. I see these all the time. And obviously not super inspiring around the turns, but you know, it can do it. I like the steering precision. It's kind of like a minivan, but just a little more settled in the corners. Actually does kind of remind me of like an Odyssey or something, especially with these seats, these armrests. Other things to note, it is pretty quiet in here. Not dead silent, but definitely like on that quieter, more peaceful side of things, which is pretty unusual for a Honda. Usually they have louder road noise, but this one is pretty quiet. Nice and intuitive driving feel, although it is a little bit delayed at times. Like if you turn a corner and then hit the gas again, definitely takes a little bit of time to kind of get moving, get those revs up. But once you get past that, it's a pretty nice drive. All right, we will take this thing on the highway, see how it does. Alright, it's not the quickest, but it gets there. This Honda Pilot is nice on the highway. It's a little bit softly tuned, like I said, but it can just like eat highway miles, no problem. It's really nice. Nice mid-range pull there. Alright, you guys. Well, I think I'll end the video up here. That is the 2022 Honda Pilot. It's a pretty nice SUV to drive. Dang, that guy ran the red light. Pretty softly sprung. But also has like a nice maneuverability about it. Engine is nice and smooth, decently peppy. Steering is decently precise. Ride is nice and smooth. All right. Put it in park. Yeah, it's very soft. It's definitely not a sporty car. It's not a quick handler. It's a little bit delayed in some areas, like the throttle and transmission is a little bit delayed at times. But overall, nice and smooth. Maybe just a little bit softly tuned, a little bit bouncy in the suspension for my liking. Other than that, pretty good. Pretty decent interior, nothing crazy in here or anything, nothing super fancy, but you know, it all works. It all seems to fit together pretty well. Nothing feels like it's broken, nothing feels like it's poorly made. All feels nice and screwed together as you'd want for a Honda. But all right, shut it off and we'll hop out. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone.